I'm constantly on the lookout at the grocery store for better for you items that taste great. I actually do a shopping list for my patients, which is one of their favorite things, and it's really the most useful. So I was super excited because I'm always looking at the dairy section to find a better alternative. And when I found Elli Quark and saw that they had no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and still were a great source of protein with all those interesting flavors, I knew that I had a winner on my hands. Well, I was really intrigued by the idea of a quark. I actually didn't know what it was. I had to do a little research on my own. But what I like so much about the product is that I'm a huge fan of Greek yogurt, and I often recommend it to people to put in recipes because it's much higher in protein than regular yogurt. But that sour taste really makes it more challenging to work with. And I think that's why the companies have to add added sugar, is because it just has a taste that most Americans aren't really comfortable with and don't enjoy that much, including me. But the wonderful thing about Quark is it doesn't have that sour taste. So everything that you add to it, all these wonderful seasonal fruits, the flavor of the fruit really shines through in addition. And I think that's a big differentiator in the marketplace. So you get as much protein as Greek yogurt, you don't have to put in the added sugar, and you still get this outstanding taste. So it's really a win-win. And the cool thing about Elli Quark is that, especially with the plain, you can sneak high quality protein and probiotics into recipes all the time too. So it's kind of a double bonus, and it's so versatile. You can use it in a lot of different things, not just as a snack or a smoothie. So I think that sort of versatility, a lot of women struggle with how do we get enough protein in our diet if we're not eating animal protein, for example, with meats or things like that. And I think this would be a great option to get in high quality protein. As a medical doctor that specializes in nutrition, I'm glad to see people being more aware of the impact of sugar, and I think a lot of the research is continuing to emerge. But at this point, we know very clearly that it increases your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, possibly things like cancer and depression. So it really is head-to-toe negative effects. And I think that we need to start addressing this. The average adult has 22 teaspoons of added sugar a day. The average child eats even more. This is even more of a concern for me as a mother and for the next generation. At this rate, if we keep going like we're going with obesity and sugar consumption, 1 out of 3 children is going to have diabetes as adults, and that's really terrifying. So companies have to make it a priority to reduce sugar, and the consumer has to seek out products like Elli Quark that can help fight this epidemic and this surplus of sugar in our food supply. Well, this is where it gets confusing, because there is naturally occurring sugar, so things like fruit and dairy have sugar, and then there's added sugar. Now, naturally occurring sugar is part of the whole health balance of the food, and it tends to be digested differently. It's the added sugar that we're really concerned about, but it's very difficult for the consumer to figure out from the label currently. That is going to change. Labeling is going to change so that we're going to know when there's added sugar. But for now, to be a smart consumer, you really have to look at the ingredients list and look for sugar. Now, that's not easy either, because sugar can sound really healthy. Cane juice, coconut sugar, agave nectar. A lot of these natural companies try to incorporate these natural sweeteners in an attempt to put